We're going to talk about Stouffville today. Like my other market update videos, what we're going to have a look at is we're going to have a look at what happened in the most current month we have in the Toronto Real Estate Board, which is September 2021. We'll compare that with what happened the year prior in September 2020, and then we'll also have a look at August 2021 to give you a bit of comparison as well. So in terms of the number of sales through the month, so again, these are across all home types. So condos, semis, towns, links, detached, and links and everything else. So the N is new listings coming to the market. The S that you see here is sales that have happened through the month, and the A is active listings. Active listings essentially are what didn't sell and carry over into the next month. So new listings in September a year ago across all home types in Stouffville was 165. There was 108 sales through the month, and active listings were 195, which carried over into October 2020. In August 21, you had 94 new listings come to market, 64 sales through the month, and 86 active listings, which carried over into September. Now, if we look at September, actually, I'll just pause here for a second. So when we see this number here for August, this was 4 or 5 months in the York region where we were seeing there was less listings coming to market. And there was also for the last 3-4 months, there was a reduction in sales. But what we were seeing is the buyer demand was still quite strong. And we were actually seeing buyers, if you will, attack these active listings and go after those. So, and I'll show you that later in the numbers how that worked out. So if we look at September, 109 new listings coming to market. So again, previously to what I said, we absolutely had seen less listings coming to market. This is the first time that we've actually seen the number of listings coming to market pop up in the last few months. Sales through the month was 84. So like most Septembers, the market does tend to get more listings. We didn't see the glut of listings that we generally would see. It was a little bit less pronounced, but certainly buyer activity after August did pick up, and active listings that are carrying over into October in Stouffville were 80. Average sale price across all home types in Stouffville a year ago was $1,064,000. That increased to $1,413,000 in August. September currently trending at $1,482,000. SNLR, also referred to as the absorption rate, it's known as the sales to new listings ratio, and it tells us out of the homes coming on the market each month, what is the percentage of them that are actually selling. So a year ago in Stouffville, 65.5% of the properties that came on the market sold. Now, bear in mind that, if you're looking at townhouses, semis versus detached, this is an average number. So, if you want some specifics on, what different housing segments are in terms of the absorption rate, please feel free to reach out to me. August 2021, 68.1% of the homes came on the market sold, currently trending at 77.1. So, again, I told you I would circle back to this. So what we're seeing here is an increase in the number of new listings coming on the market, but we're also seeing sales pop up and the active listings actually reducing. So I'm not surprised to see that absorption rate actually climb. And in previous months, we had been seeing the absorption rate climb, but it was due to the fact, even though there was less listings coming out, less sales happening, we were seeing buyers circle back to the active listings, and I'll show you confirmation of that. So the MOI stands for months of inventory remaining. And what that tells us that if no other homes came on the market after today at the current rate of buying, how long would it take to completely deplete the inventory? So a year ago, 1.3 months of inventory in August, and currently trending at 1. So again, circling back to that, you're looking here at 1.3 months, but you're looking at an absorption rate that's gone up. You're looking at a declining inventory amount. And so there you are, is that the buyers are actually starting to go back after the new listings rather than the active listings. And again, you're going to see this in the days on market when I get down there. Sale price to list price ratio, 98.6%. A year ago, 104.5 in August, and staying steady at 104.5. Days on market to get a home sold, 20 days a year ago, 20 days in August, currently trending at 19. So again, to go back, when we were seeing less listings coming to market, we were also seeing the days on market come up a little bit. And it's not necessarily because we were actually seeing the less buyer activity. We were seeing lots of buyer activity, but when the buyers are going after these active listings, and these active listings can be on the market for 30 days, 45 days, 60 days. I mean, they absolutely do exist. Hard to believe maybe, but and so what happens is it just takes buyers longer to circle back to those active listings, which puts the days on market up. So when the days on market counter starts to go down, that would indicate to me that with more new listings coming on the market, I mean, a home will always get its maximum exposure in the first 2 weeks on the market. So that is buyers circling back to the new listings. And, you know, depending on how the trend goes, we may see these active listings start to grow again if more new inventory continues to come out. If more new inventory next month in October's numbers doesn't come out, we will probably see that number climb again. So this market, I mean, for buyers and sellers right now, for buyers, certainly it's a market that, you know, with a 70% absorption, 77% absorption rate, you know, there are other surrounding markets that are quite a bit more aggressive. So I would say this one in Stouffville right now is a little bit relaxed. So there's some good opportunity there for you. You know, certainly the trend has still been towards, you know, the holding of an offer date and, you know, cultivating multiple offers and things like that. So certainly you want to make sure that your, you know, your financing is dialed in. You want to make sure that you're comfortable with the house in terms of putting in an offer. The likelihood is it will be without conditions. But again, and I keep saying this through my videos, is that, you know, sometimes you can have a really different experience when you're looking at the active listings. When you pull a list, and if you don't have a realtor of choice, I would happily pull a list for you. But when you start looking at the inventory that's been carrying over month to month to month, the reason it's carrying over month to month is because it's overpriced. There is only two things that a seller could control in the sale of their home, and that is price or condition. They either raise the condition of the house to meet their pricing expectation, or they lower the price to meet the price expectation of the buyer. That's it. And so when it comes down to looking at some of these older listings out there, you will see the odd listing, and you'll go, geez, that's sold conditional with, you know, five business days conditional period, and that's likely because it is an active listing. It's been hanging around. When you go in and look at those houses and you started working on a transaction or a deal through those, you're not under competition like you are with the newer stuff. So, you know, sometimes there's a little bit more opportunity to get in there, have a slower moving transaction. For sellers right now, certainly, you know, we absolutely know from the National Association of Realtors statistically that homes with high definition professional photos and that are staged sell faster and for more money. Homes get their most exposure, as I mentioned, in the first 2 weeks on the market. So certainly, even though the market is busy and aggressive, I certainly would not suggest skimping on those two things. So you want to make sure that you align yourself with a realtor that has a strong online presence that can showcase your home in its best light. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, and I'll see you next month.